I thought a lot about the waste portion of this situation. And there are a couple of real problems to consider, which really the big divide is between food rain that falls over land and food rain that falls over water. I didn't actually look into the water quite as much because it wound up being a little bit less interesting, but you're definitely going to have to filter the water, but you know, we can get around that. We're going to like filter the water a lot, I guess, is sort of, you know, the big takeaway. For food that falls on the ground, things get kind of tricky. So sort of what I started thinking about was just how do you get rid of all the food that falls on the ground? Because I sort of assumed, so I did some calculations on like, you know, volume of water as well. So if you have a square mile and you have 1 inch of rain, that winds up being 4,014,489,600 cubic inches of rain.
Only?
Per square mile.
Only?
It's a decent amount. So I'm going to assume in some of these calculations that we can catch about a quarter of the food that falls, which just is a bit of idea of scale here. The approximate...
Now, when you say catch, like catch in our mouths, like your snowflakes?
I mean, like, people are going to set up nets and buckets and things like that and try to, like...
It's going to stand outside, tilt your head up, and open your mouth.
I mean, that's going to be a portion of it, yeah. And sort of for an idea of the scale of all of this, the approximate volume of a chicken nugget is about 35 cubic centimeters. So if we caught a quarter... So that like 4 billion cubic inches of volume is about 65,785 cubic meters of volume. So Boston's about 90 square miles. That works out to about 5,920,000 cubic meters. So if you catch a quarter of that, that winds up being about 1.5 million cubic meters. And that in chicken nuggets is approximately 126,872,421,429 chicken nuggets, which is about 7.5 trillion calories.
I like the idea, though, Ben. I'm staying on the optimist side.
I like the idea of chicken nugget storm.
Yeah, I'm driving to the beach. I decided that I was gonna risk it, and oh man, here it is, chicken nugget rain. Should have stayed home, but it's okay. I just pick up my old French fry container from McDonald's and I put it out the window, and I got a 10-piece chicken McNuggets right there for free while on the road.
But here's...
And I eat those chicken nuggets, nom, 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 stick it back out, another 10-piece. Can't stop me,
and
I got another 10-piece.
If you don't catch it, you still have the 5-second rule. You still have 5 seconds to pick stuff up.
Yeah, and you grab another one, pass to your buddy, another 10-piece.
But now here's the problem, is that 5-second rule is going to pass pretty quickly, and then you just have a lot of chicken nuggets on the ground, which if you caught a quarter of them, you're going to have approximately like almost 400 trillion chicken nuggets on the ground from this 1 inch of rainfall in Boston. So I started trying to think of ways to not even like, I like your idea of converting to biofuel. I just focused on trying to get them somewhere that's not just all over the ground. That was the problem I tried to figure out, was how do you deal with all of these fucking chicken nuggets or whatever?
Launch it into space.
Well, just like even gathering them. So like I look at like street sweepers. The volume of a street sweeper, like the amount it can carry, is about 4.6 cubic meters, which is only about 131,000 chicken nuggets. That's not going to cut it. Like, you're going to need a lot of street sweepers constantly for every storm. Like, it works out to 965,000 loads of street sweepers. And I don't even know if a street sweeper can, like, pick up a chicken nugget. I don't even know if that works. Don't get me started on, like, drumsticks or something. Like,
I have a mental image now of, like, a Bob the Builder, like, living street sweeper, like, going down the street, and there's, like, one chicken nugget on the ground. He's like, oh, I don't know about this. Bob, I don't know if I can take it. I don't know if it's gonna fit.
So I was trying to make street sweepers work, and it's just not gonna cut it. So I was like, okay, so we need something a little more intense. So I was like, all right, what about going with Boston? What about like the same way you deal with snow? What if you just get plows and just plow away these chicken nuggets? So apparently a snow plow can clear an acre of ground in approximately 45 minutes. Boston is about 57,600 acres, which means that it's 43,200 plow hours to clear it, which is 1,800 plow days. So once again, that's not really sustainable.
Boston manages, kinda.
It can work. And I mean, obviously that's not a perfect calculation because not all of Boston is roads. But unfortunately that brings up the other problem, which is not all of Boston is roads. So you can't use a snowplow or a street sweeper on like a field. So like, no joke, my plan was to get like pigs and just let them go. But I don't think that even that's going to be enough. Like,
be free, pigs.
Pigs will rule the world.
Like, but like that's the problem. Like, you're going to have so much food on the ground. If you have a 1-inch storm, I don't think you can get out of that. You're just going to get buried in this particular example that I keep coming back to, chicken nuggets. And I honestly don't know what to do about it.
See, that's where your pessimism and my optimism come at each other. Because in my optimistic mind, the world's just going to evolve. Like, if there's plentiful food, animals are just going to reproduce and survive, and there's going to be more things eating them. There's going to be 20 times as many pigs, and they're just going to all be fine and dandy, hanging out, eating food. And it's going to keep going until there's an equal number of food-eating pigs to food that needs pigs to eat them.
And then the pigs will eat all the food, and then the pigs will still be hungry, and the pigs will see us, and that's the real disaster.
There's going to be basically limitless bacon.
But we already have that from the food rain.
Yeah, if it rains bacon once, then we don't need bacon.
Well, I mean, bacon goes bad pretty fast. You don't want to eat bacon like more than really like 10 minutes after it gets off the fucking grill.
But that's my exact point, is that what if it rains bacon and then suddenly we just have all this rotting bacon everywhere?
Well, there's no mad pig disease, right? Pigs can eat bacon.
Oh, that just seems cruel.
Yeah, that doesn't seem right.
Well, then they would just build up their bacon parts, like
and become mega bacon.
Everything that a pig needs to make bacon has to be in bacon.
Yeah.
So my answer is actually slightly inconclusive because I honestly, like everything I tried, I could not figure out a way to deal with all of the excess food. Because the sheer quantity of excess food is staggering.
I do like the mental image of you being at your desk and being like, damn it!
No, I was seriously
how do I
like,
fix this? And someone's like comes like, Ben, do you need a hand? It's like,
so many chicken nuggets.
There was a point where I legitimately had 3 different windows with different calculators open on my computer, like with different numbers in them, trying to figure this out.
Just like a giant chalkboard. Chicken nugget equals question mark.
It's like one of those murder things where like things are connected, but it's just 85 pictures of chicken nuggets connected by strings.
If this were a movie, there'd just be a shot of me like lying in bed, like tossing and turning. It's just like ghostly chicken nuggets rain around me.
Yeah, you're tossing up a hacky sack that like slowly turns into a chicken nugget as you toss it. And you're like, ah!
And Matt Damon is just gonna walk past your chalkboard one day and solve it.
Yeah.
He just puts like a square root somewhere and you're like,
my God.
Oh my God!